Hey guys, I thought it might be easier if I just record myself, kind of walk through this demo, just to make sure I cover all the right things. So I'm just gonna record my screen and talk through this process of creating essential graphics with different colors of backgrounds with a drop-down menu that allows you to choose which color of background you get, and then a slider for opacity that goes with it. So let me just jump into After Effects and we'll get going. So what I have right now is just a blue background that has a linear wipe on it, and that's all there is to it. So the first thing I'm going to do is get a new layer and make it a null object. And I'm just going to name this the control layer. Okay, and then I'm going to put all the things that are going to go in the essential graphics panel on this control layer. That way it kind of keeps things nice and tidy. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab a slider, and this is going to be our slider that controls the opacity. I'm just going to call this slider background opacity. Okay, the next thing you need to do is for any layers that you want to have different options for colors, you have to duplicate those layers and create them in the new color. So I'm just going to do 3 as my example. I've got a blue, so I'm going to make a green one, and I'll make an orange one as well. I'm just hitting Shift Command Y to pull up the solid settings and changing the colors. Okay, so we've got orange background, green background, blue background, and I'm just going to rename all these. Orange, BG, green, and blue. Okay, now the next thing you want to add is a drop-down menu control in the effects panel over here. Just grab that and drop it onto your control layer. So we've got our slider that controls opacity, we've got a drop-down menu. Okay. Now in this drop-down menu you can actually go in and edit it, and these are going to be how we select the backgrounds. So I'm going to create orange, BG, and I'm going to do it in the same order that these layers are in. Green, BG, blue, BG. Hit OK. So this is going to be what the editors use to select the color. This will be what they use to control the opacity. Now we just have to basically put some code on all of these. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab my opacity. I'm going to make it an expression. And I'm going to hide these columns for a minute so that I have more space to see the expression. So I'm going to create 2 variables. The first is going to be an S for the slider, the opacity slider, and I'm going to link that to the slider. And the next is going to be an M for the drop-down menu, and I'm going to link the M to the drop-down menu with the pick width. Okay, and then it's a matter of creating an if-else statement. So there's one thing I forgot to mention is you want to set your slider to 100 as the default. Otherwise, when you create all these expressions, you're not going to see anything. So sorry, I cut the recording there and just went back in and set this from 0 to 100. And now that that's set, we're going to go in and make this if-else statement. So you start by doing if, and we're going to call out the menu, our variable that's the menu, so m, if m equals 1, and the reason we do 1 is because we're doing the orange background, and that's number 1 on our drop-down menu list. So if m equals 1, then we want our result to be s, which is our slider value. Else 0. So if it's not selected as orange on the menu, if it's not equal to 1, we want it to be 0. And right now it's equal to 1, so it's appearing orange. But if we change it to green, it would not be there anymore. It would be 0. If we select orange, though, it is orange, and now the slider controls the opacity. Okay. And now we want to take this same expression and copy it to our other two background colors. Okay. So that's copied in there, but now we just want to change which drop-down menu item we're selecting. So on green, we want it to be 2, and on blue, we want it to be 3. Sorry, this is harder to see. And now, whatever background color we select will appear, and we have full control over the opacity. So, and then just like we showed you yesterday, you find your comp, you name it background color test, and then you want to grab these properties and drag them into the essential graphics. And then once you export as a template, those will all be available for the editors to select in their files. All right, I think that covers the getting the background opacity and the drop-down menu. Let me know if you guys have any questions. See ya.